The lawnmower just stopped mowing on Patty the other day. It made no extra noise. I started going through a couple steps, and then that's what made me think of this video. I mean, it's a lawnmower, it's pretty easy, right? But there's still a certain set of steps that we all go through. So just from those checks, I can see when I flip on the PTO, the light comes on, I go underneath, I see the PTO shaft spinning. It's not a problem with the tractor part of it. It's a problem with the mower deck. I'm getting power down to the mower deck. So at the mower deck, there's only about 2 possible causes for this. One, my gearbox has just blown apart inside. I don't think that's it because I'm not hearing anything. Second, and most likely what it is, my belt broke. That's probably what the problem is. Let's pull off a cover. I've got this cover loose. Let's pull it back. Oh, there's no belt whatsoever. Yep, that's the problem. I'll get a new belt on order for that. But you see, it's just a very simple series of steps. You step from what should happen, which is when I pull the PTO switch, the deck should start mowing, right? Very simple. Then after that, you just follow it through the most logical path until you find the problem. Now that we've solved something very simple, let's go solve something more complex. Last year, I ran new nav light wires, installed new nav lights, and this year they just don't want to turn on. I've already removed this panel. The very first thing I'll do, like anybody's first step, I'll flip it on. Sure enough, no lights. And then just to make sure it's not just something with that side, still no lights. Step 2 is to verify that I have power. This runs a single power board that powers every single switch. Let me flip on the horn. Sounds awful, but it does work. And the bilge, again, sounds awful, but it does work. So I know that I have power coming to it. Now let me start doing more checks. My next step is to do a voltage check. I know the wiring is a mess in here. This is my negative bus bar. This terminal block that's just laying here is where I've got my nav lights going to. And with a digital, it doesn't matter, negative or positive. So I've got no voltage. My switch is on. This wire is going up the console. This other wire is going in the bottom of the boat. So this wire is my feed. And what you know, it's not plugged in. In simplifying this problem, this gives me fuse power. It runs up to this very bottom switch. Just to try it, I took this wire from this terminal block and I plugged it into that switch because all I need is power because I already have the ground. And sure enough, that powers on my nav lights. That was a little bit of a weird issue. I don't know what's going on with that nav anchor switch, but I'm going to relabel it. The wiring is a mess on this boat because that's how I got it. And I'm slowly trying to add a couple things without permanently mounting anything. But I got bit because I didn't permanently mount all that. I guess it pulled out while I was driving down the road. In an effort to simplify for the next time I'm in here, I cleaned this up. This terminal strip was my problem terminal strip because it fell and it pulled that wire out. Now it's mounted, my wire is too long, but I can address that another day. I mounted my solar charge controller and I mounted my fuse box. Biggest thing about doing any troubleshooting, whether it's like this or whether it's setting yourself up for future troubleshooting, because there will always be future, is make sure that you understand it. Something like a boat where I have full control over all the circuits in here, all the wires in here. I can rewire it, which I will, just not right now. But I can start setting this stuff up the way that it makes sense to me and start undoing the previous owner's stuff that they had. It made sense to them. It doesn't make any sense to me. All I see is a whole bunch of wires and I have to trace every single one. If you guys have any extra tips that I'm forgetting, please let me know down in the comments. If you guys learned something, please let me know that you learned it.